if someone came up to me in real life and spoke to me that way, I'd say, "You ain't from around here, boy." Howdy, y'all. My name's Mike. I live in Houston, Texas, and today I'm going to be reacting to 30 dialects of the English language in the UK. So get your... Oh, wait. Hold on, I forgot something really important. Reaching my cooler right here. One of these bad boys. So get your bush light. That went everywhere. And cheers. All right. Let's do it. Oh, wait, actually, this is from Hera. 3,000 subscribers. Hit them with the like. It's posted in June 2015. It's a little bit older. It's got 1 million views, though, so it's pretty legit. All right.
They agreed that the one who first succeeded in making the traveller take his cloak off should be considered stronger than the other. Then the north wind blew as hard as he could. But the more he blew, the more closely did the traveller fold his cloak around him.
I mean, it was definitely a British accent. That didn't sound crazy. I mean, if someone came up to me in real life and spoke to me that way, I'd say, "You ain't from around here, boy." But I think accents are really interesting, actually. So anytime I hear someone that has any kind of accent, I'll say, "Hey, where are you from?" And the most common accents we get here in Houston. Houston's actually a pretty good melting pot of a lot of different cultures, but you'll hear Asian accents a lot. You will hear a lot of Hispanic accents, and you'll hear we have a lot of Indian people as well. So the Indian accent is pretty common too. British is pretty rare. Like if I heard a British accent, I would immediately go to that person and say, "Hey, where are you from?"
All I knew was this, for the first decade of my life, this tremendous relief from my family. And people come around saying, "Lovely flatbed. Oh, you are lucky."
What? Hold on. What the hell did he say? I legitimately couldn't understand that. Some of it I did. Let's see.
All I knew was this, for the first decade of my life, this
All I know something for the first decade of my life.
tremendous relief.
Hold on.
All I knew was this, for the first decade of my life, this tremendous relief from my family. And people come around saying, "Lovely flatbed. Oh, you are lucky."
Love your flatbed. You are lucky. Your flatbed. That was difficult to understand.
And the horse he'd go off round the alleyways to the various people, and the horse would just walk a bit further down the road and stop again, and so on, And he ended up down here in the afternoon, the last call.
That was... I had to really focus on that one, but I needed to focus, but I got the gist of that.
Oh, put a heap of straw in and shook it all up and watered it, and then drawed out these bundles and took it up on a fork.
Something about bundling something and taking it up a fort. I'm not sure.
I only followed that through for one tournament, and I took to a stable of horses. Of course, that improves the wages. We had 12 shillings
Improves the wages.
a week then,
12
and
shillings.
a cottage to live with at work.
What the hell? What? That was... he was talking about, I think, work conditions getting better, or the pay, or something.
And that was better beer. That was halfpenny beer, see? And it was brewed at Cannon. Well, around here, because there's big breweries, Cannon. They used to brew some beautiful beer.
Come on. Come on. That was not English. That was not English. I'm not saying I have good English, but come on, man. That was very difficult to understand.
And they were big blokes in them days. No, you wouldn't get in Bristol Police for under 6 foot.
Yeah, you wouldn't get something under 6 foot. I don't.
Then it was rinsed in the big square sink, and out, then you went out the yard and you mangled it, and then it went up on the line.
If someone's watching this from the UK, put in the comments, are these exaggerated? Because, like, I could talk like this and try to sound like a real Texan if I really wanted to. You know, I wonder, some of these are so difficult to understand that I wonder if they're exaggerated. Because I could say, man, I went over down yonder and I had me a darn tootin' of a time, and I just had this, I had this real itching, and I had wild hair to go down to a honky tonk. But no one really talks like that, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. By the way, never mind.
You're covered in mud and muck.
Oh, we've been for a good old stank.
Or a stank.
Good old stank, and that is Cornish. Stank. A tough walk. That was a good old stank, wasn't it? A braille stank.
Something was a real stank. What is a stank? I don't know. But it was a real stank.
And then sometimes the weeds were pulled out by hand. There used to be carlicks, which looked very much like mustard seed, but that was a weed. The garlic is to be pulled by hand.
He's talking about weird stuff. I'm not sure what he's talking about, but I understood that. That wasn't that hard to understand.
Where you going? I said, I come to further side. He said, what do you mean further side? I said, I don't know. I said, more don't know far, I don't think. I come away one day, I said, my granny, I said, oh.
I don't.
When Dad brought stalk of Brussels sprouts home, he trimmed them up on the garden, and they would weigh £7.
So 2 things. One, that was easy. I understood everything she said easily, but I thought pounds was like a American thing. Like y'all use a metric system over there.
One thing I always call it, is it time for victuals, mate? I always call it victuals. That's maybe on in my way, but if we're two of them, I say to my brother, we better go for some victuals, mate, and off we go for the dinner, like.
Come on. I hope to God someone from East Midlands is watching this video. Please comment. I read every single comment. I get 10 views, okay? Please comment. There's no way that is a normal accent over there. Because what he just said was complete gibberish. You could not understand any of that.
Mind you, I don't know whether there'd be any truth in it, to tell you the truth, because nobody ever took interest, and of course I suppose anybody with a good head.
No one took interest in something. Some of these people sound drunk, and I really, really hope I'm not being offensive. I'm just saying, I've seen lots of British people on TV. I've interacted with British people in real life, people from the UK. I have never interacted with someone from the UK, especially when I go to Vegas. It seems like I always run into people from the UK, and I follow a British Vegas vlogger named Matt Bridger, and I understand every word comes out of his mouth. I don't know what part of the UK he's from, but some of these have got to be exaggerated. Because I promise you, I can go down to East Montgomery County, Texas, and find some people that you would not understand. They would be talking pure hillbilly. That'd be their language. But that's not what most people sound like. They're like the extreme end of southern accents, you know.
I thought that's great. Of course, he said, oi, up it, you know. Well, I upped it by taking about 2 paces back. And then I sat there and I watched this bloke as he assembled his drum kit, you see. And I spent the whole rest of the night watching this drummer.
That sounded... I could understand every word. That almost sounds like Ozzy Osbourne's accent, but I forget where Ozzy's from. I don't think Liverpool. Maybe it's Liverpool. Can't remember. I could Google it, but that almost sounds like if Ozzy didn't do drugs his whole life. That's what he would sound like.
If I want to go up Hanley Park or anything like that, get a milk bottle, she's saying, she'd shove this white stuff in it and shake it up. And there you go with this bottle of pop and a beetroot sandwich.
I think what gets me about the British accent is the inflections, you know. It'd be like if I talked like this when I was talking, you know. It's that's what I think that is what trips me up. You know what I mean? That's what I think makes it hard, because when I hear the inflection go up, I'm thinking it's the end of the sentence, but it's not. The sentence kind of does this. Maybe that's why I struggle with hearing some of these accents.
Things started to change, you see, and the bus was going up to Aberystwyth twice a week, and some people started to go down on the bus to Machynlleth to do their bit of shopping.
Some of that was, he literally was going, some of that was, he was just, we call that a marble mouth, or mush mouth. Just, some of that. Not all of it. Some of that, he was not saying words.
When they're boiled, then they've got to be peeled. So on the table they go, depending on the size of your catch, which could in them days be anything from £10 to £150 in weight. The hours mounted up, you see. You might get back home at, say, 7 in the morning.
That was easy to understand. They're all talking about very random things, but that I could understand that one pretty easily.
I can't forget one man lower down in I told you we lived in one of the old houses. Well, on the other corner where the other end was, there was a man who was down the docks and he was working there, and I just can't think of his name now.
That was very easy. That was the easiest to understand so far of all of them.
I mean,
Mancunian.
You literally have them eating out of your hand pigeons. Like, you see them in Piccadilly and places like that where people have fed them and they're all over them. But this is actually being able to pick them up without them flying off.
I could understand that pretty well.
You tame your bucket into its sile. It's a strainer, his sile. You sit on a little 3-leg steel and get your head stuck into the hard cool side. By God, it was a grand job on a frosty morning.
Do you see what that guy was a good example of the when they're talking and I'm not saying it's wrong or bad. I'm just saying it's different, you know. So it seems like here in the U.S. you kind of talk, and if you're asking a question at the end, it'll kind of like, hey, are you going to the store later? You know, or if you're saying a statement like I'm going to the store later, it's just like, and the British accent just in the UK in general, it's like a lot of, it seems like sometimes it'll go up and down and then you can't. And I'm not being disrespectful or anything. I'm just saying that messes with my brain. Like it even though we're speaking the same language with a couple slang differences, you know, that's what trips me up, I think.
I got a hint there, Alec, when the Gulliver got a glyph and conked the tongue.
Well, should he? I mean, how are you going to catch up? You didn't get paid if you didn't catch up.
You don't get paid if you don't catch up, is what he said at the end, I think. That was... I almost started tuning out because I could not understand that.
That's I always love all that. I mean, I love a stronger East year. I mean, them days you didn't live with lasses. If a bloke was gone with a lass and they weren't married, she had a bad name, you know, and everybody looked down on people like that.
He was talking about something with a girl. He said a lass, which I know is a girl. No one in the U.S. says lass, but I know that a lass or lassie is a girl, but I couldn't understand him.
Which is a shame. I think it's a place for the old-fashioned type of pub, you know. And I mean the ones like the last one we were in the market. It's been renovated. It really is nice. It's open plan, beautiful, really is, and they do a lot of catering.
I could pretty much understand that.
Use our Macca talk, our Cumberland crack, because once it's gone, it'll never come back. Use it gay often, as much as you like, or it'll just get away like snow for day.
Something is gonna get away. I could not understand that man. What the hell he was talking about?
had this, the horse and cart, and we had a big Clydesdale cuddy, a big Clydesdale horse.
I wish I would have gotten a longer clip than that, because I think the Scottish accent's cool. Like when I think of the Scots accent, I hope I'm not saying anything wrong or offensive. If I am, I mean no offense. But that accent right there is like, I think of Conor McGregor, you know? And I just think when you hear Conor McGregor just talk shit, it sounds so cool. I'm not even going to try that accent, but I just think that's a cool accent. You know, I just think of like some dude sitting at some pub somewhere throwing darts and talking shit and drinking beers, and that's my kind of people. So I think that's a cool accent.
I've had strides, but that comes from advertising. I know it comes from advertising. And yeah, I just use...
That's pretty similar, right? Because that still, to me, sounds kind of... And again, I hope I'm not being offensive, you know. But it sounds similar to me.
Just use trousers or jeans. Most people wear jeans.
There's people could say that better than I could, of course. I produced the thing, and I know people have enjoyed it. And as far as I'm concerned, if people enjoy something that I'm doing or I've done, then that is a reward in its own. And it seems as though I have a talent, as you say.
That was easy. I could understand that all day long.
Now this is National Golf Month, and if there's no exciting enough for all they followers of the wee white ball, the Irish Open is for the Royal County Down Golf Club, starting on the 28th.
I would say that's probably the most like popular, like in America. That's like the stereotype. Like, I hope I'm not being offensive, but just like when I think of a leprechaun, I think of that accent. You know what I mean? And when we celebrate St. Patrick's Day, that's kind of the accent, you know, we're thinking of. In here, in at least in where I live, there's quite a few Irish pubs. We have one that's a Baker Street pub. It's an Irish themed bar, and it's cool because it has a bathroom that there's a sign on the ceiling that says restrooms, and then it just points to a bookshelf. And then, so the first time I went there, I walked up, I saw the restroom sign. I walked up to the bookshelf, and I was like, what the hell? So I went to the bartender and I said, hey, where's the restrooms at? And they go, oh, just follow the sign. And I was like, I see the sign. It's pointing into a bookshelf. And then they said, you'll figure it out. And I go, what? And so I look over going, okay, I was starting to actually get irritated. And then I see the bookshelf swing inward and a guy walk out, and then it closed behind him. And I go, what? So I walked up, and then you push the bookshelf to get to the restrooms. And I thought, do they really do this? So if there's anyone that's from that area, or really anywhere in the UK, I'm curious if that's something that was inspired from, you know, England or from the UK or from, you know, anywhere over there. Or is that just the bar owner here was just an asshole? I don't know. Please tell me.
They think you're better now, you won't get them there, or they all want past jobs now, they won't get them to work on anything that we work when we were young.
I think I heard when we were younger at the end. But that did not sound like English to me. Is that the end of the video? That is the end of the video. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out Hera, his content. Gave him a like, and yeah, so let me know what you think. I asked a few questions throughout. Very small time, I promise I read all the comments. I would love to interact with you guys and girls. So anyways, thanks for watching, and y'all have a good one.